Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Once again, welcome to the Mercedes-Benz stage. My name is Mark Moberg, and I work for the change management company Trainer's House. The reason I'm introducing myself, somebody here might be wondering he just did that, is because we have the official NBF broadcast joining us now. My job today and tomorrow is to make sure that the learning and the fun continues even during all the breaks in the main program. And to do that, I will be talking to a number of interesting guests, the topic being internationalization. And my guest now is Head of Digital at Bonnier Tidskrifter, Frida Boisen. Welcome.
Thank you very much. Nice to be here.
Good to have you. Now, internationalization, but I cannot escape the need to ask you, especially as you are in the media business, what did you think about Scott Galloway's Avalanche?
Well, he has a point, of course. He proclaimed the death of ads. And as I was saying after him on stage, well, yes, it's a death of bad ads. Yeah. But we will still long for great stories. And I'm sure there are a lot of people who want to reach out their products. And then you have to create good ads instead of bad ads. And the good ads, well, we love them. They can actually change the world. So we want more of those.
Yeah, who doesn't?
Yeah, who doesn't, right?
And
that's what we're working out now. And that's so much great fun, actually.
But still, there is, I would guess that there is a clear danger in that, because good or bad is always a matter of taste, at least to some extent. But I think most people would agree, and of course the evidence points in that direction, because people are actually paying not to be exposed to these ads. So if we can agree that a very large portion of the ads are not good ads, then getting the good ads to replace this, that could be a business problem, because there's not such an abundance of it, or...
Well, actually, what we're doing, we're shifting from the banner ad, where we say, yes, that's basically dead for us, but it's all shifting to native ads, so that we take our great storytellers. I've been working as a journalist for my whole life. We have wonderful digital journalists that are great storytellers, and we give them the product that they want to market, your great sunglasses or whatever, and we create a great story around that. That really means something, built on values. And we have a passion for media, we have a passion for storytelling, and that way you can really reach out for real, and that's what works.
Are you then talking more about the actual content of your titles? Or?
Yes, native advertising, I would say, it's an editorial way of reaching out. It's as great a value as the other editorial things we have. Of course, we market, this is an ad, but it's just as great as a story as the other editorial products we are creating. So that is really working.
I think the next question will betray my age. You do not see any kind of ethical dilemma in this, what you just talked about?
You have to be...
Sort of loaded, sorry.
Transparency is, of course, a very important word here. And also, you have to be totally transparent with this is an ad format. But if you want to be native for real, you have to have the real creators making the story. That is what the influencers and bloggers are doing, and the YouTubers and the Instagrammers. They are telling the story, their story, the editorial story, and the ad story. And that is what we are doing as a media house as well now.
Yeah. The story of your media house, if we look at Bonnier as a whole, I believe is something like, is it 85 years old story?
Yeah, yeah, even older.
Even older?
Yeah,
okay.
More than a century.
All right, I stand corrected. But if we look at Bonnier Tidskrifter, which is your domain, you are now present in, I believe, 3 countries in terms of having... Okay, so what are... To the extent that they are not business secrets, what are the next steps in your international journey?
Well, as you were saying, well, actually, the Bonnier Magazine Group is in several countries, also in the States.
Yes.
And Bonnier Publications is in Denmark and Norway, and I represent Bonnier Tidskrifter, which is in Sweden. But of course, we have a close collaboration, and what we are looking is, of course, developing digital services, and that of course, today when you develop something digitally, you also look at how can we scale this in a global way. How can we make this new site or service also in Denmark, in Norway, in Sweden? If you have a perfect service, it usually translates to a lot of demands in many countries.
If we talk about or think about internationalization, the going places, do you see it more as a consequence or a cause?
To go to
to go international.
Well, we always love good businesses, of course, and if you have a good business that you can see will work in other countries, well, you would be stupid not to act on it. Yeah. Of course, you want to act on it. You want to grow your business, and often it works in different cultures, I would say, in different areas.
Do you see that? Well, like you said, to grow the business, that's a good reason. That's a good cause. Do you see that there are other, could you say, intrinsic values in being international, other than the obvious one of growing your business?
Well, of course, the scale advantages. You can produce one basic service and then distribute it for so many more people in a more effective way. So that of course, is also another factor.
True. That's in a way is like a business argument, right?
Yes. I'm also I'm into the business now again.
That's good. That's good. We have to remember who pays for the seminars and the lunches and stuff. But I would like to see if maybe I ask it in another way. You move around, I'm sure, as does your company. Is there something that you get from being in different places other than the business benefits of scale or new markets?
Well, of course, it's always intriguing for me as a publisher to meet people from different countries, as we are getting more and more international every day. And the other media, what should I say, media colleagues like Facebook and Google are, of course, international. And, of course, we need to have our feet on the ground and see what is happening around the globe. And if we can collaborate as well, we need to do it. And we are getting better and better at that, I would say. Now,
you were in the hot seat being grilled by the second most evil professor, or dirty, I think it was, in the house, Alfred, together with Pia Kalsta. I had to leave halfway to get here, to get ready for so I only caught the beginning. Was there something during that discussion that provided some sort of new idea or insight? Did that take you in some way, direction, something that you sort of will take home with you? Well, obviously, I have to say you are not dead because you are here, so slightly provocative.
No, I think the whole rumor about the corpse thing, I don't understand that at all. But but what we were discussing and what I really believe is in the naked advertising. You know,
what exactly do you mean then? I think I have a clue. But could you please educate me and anybody else who might not be totally
familiar with the term?
What does that mean?
Well, it's actually that you give the influencer or the brand. Oh no, I have to speak even louder.
Never mind. Never mind.
Well, anyways, you need to give the influencer or the brand free hands. You can't, as if an advertiser, come and say, well, it would be nice, Frida, if you spoke about our mobile phone, and we would really like to, if you could emphasize this or that, or if we could have a jingle in the beginning, or if we could, just switch to the color in the background. That won't work. That's when it's not authentic anymore. And the whole thing about reaching out in a credible way as a publisher, and that is the whole thing about being a publisher. You have to be credible in everything you do. You have to let the creator do its thing, naked, out, bye-bye with the cameras and the lights and all the way the advertiser thinks you want to tell the story. Then it's not a true naked advertising. Naked advertising is when you leave the control to the creator.
Sounds scary.
Yes, I think advertisers believes it to be scary, but they will love it, and they do love it when they see the results.
Okay, that's a really interesting thought. I mentioned that I work for a change management company, and typically our customers and the leaders in our customer organizations, they ask us how can we need to show the benefits to the people who are being asked to change in advance. Unfortunately, that doesn't seem to be possible. Yes, you can intellectually talk about the benefits, but the fears are not here. They are lower down the torso, like Scott said. So the price to pay for the courage to go naked, so to speak, is immediate and certain. But the benefits are somewhat uncertain and in the future. So how do you bridge this gap?
Well, what we promise our advertisers is that this will work. And if it doesn't, then you won't come back, right? Everything is built on a relation that you trust us to be great storytellers. And let us do our job, and you will see the benefits, and you will see it now, and you can follow it. And so far, it's been working very well, and we see a rapid increase in these sales, in the naked sales.
Naked sales and naked sounds good and interesting and exciting.
Yeah. It's lovely also in the Nordics. You can get rid of all those clothings, even though it gets colder. Yep. Now we're all in for naked advertising. Yeah. It's working.
I have a somewhat strange question for you.
Go ahead.
It needs a short backstory. I'll try to keep it short. Some years ago, I had the great privilege to work with the Finnish Ministry of Defense to help them modernize the narrative, so to speak, of what it means to have armed forces and to defend the country. And the idea was to make the story relevant and interesting for younger people, younger than me, I'm afraid. And actually, the target group that was eventually decided was young women. I won't go into the details. Point is, when doing research for this job, it turned out that young people, and now when I say young, I mean like maybe 30 and under, they have a different concept of country and nation, which I guess is natural. My question is this, since we're talking about internationalization, inter-nation, so it's between nations, what if the concept of nation states is being eroded or diluted? Do you see in the future a world where the whole concept of going international is an obsolete thought?
Well, I would say all publishers today, the world is shrinking, basically. Yeah. If you look at a 10-year-old today, if they want to find their voice, if they want to find their story, it doesn't matter if it's from Hungary or if it's from Finland, Sweden, or the States. They find their best new friends and their beacons in whatever countries. Country boundaries are less and less important. Definitely. It's more about the interest, the common passion.
Earlier in the pre-session by Peter Diamandis, he said one, I guess, sort of provocative statement he said was that nothing is really scarce anymore in general. When listening to that, I came to think about something. I worked a little bit with media companies. I thought, well, human attention is a scarce thing, is it not?
How do you mean?
I mean that if my attention is here, it's not really there. I can try to be everywhere, talking to people via live stream and the people here and trying to focus mostly on you. But really, they say undivided attention. They say that for a reason, because attention is typically, it's a scarce resource. It cannot be everywhere. Do you see this digitalization with even more and rapid abundance of all kinds of signals and impulses? Do you see that as a challenge for your business as a media house?
I like to see everything as an opportunity, and it actually works like that also. Because yes, it's a challenge with the split visions that we are working with now. But that's what we are doing. We are looking at the broadcast, and then we are looking at our second screen. Maybe we have the desktop there, and then we have the cell phone here. And then when I see something interesting on the TV, then I Google it, and then I say, oh my God, I didn't know that about the host. And then I Twitter it on the desktop or whatever, and the conversation is going on multiple platforms all the time now. So there is an opportunity there. I see traffic going up every time we have a great TV show and we have written something about the people that are in the TV show that is really interesting. So then our figures are going up, of course. So we complement each other.
Yeah. In terms of your international aspirations as a company, or as part of a company. I don't know exactly how you work. So, what do you at this time in place? What are you most excited about in terms of possibilities? There must be many because you said you like to think positive about these things. But is there something you could single out that really turns you on?
Yes, we work very closely now with our Danish partners, the Bonnier publication, and they are also in Norway, and we are in Sweden. So we haven't been working at all if you look back a couple of years, but now we are so integrated and we see so many scale advantages, the business advantages again.
There's nothing wrong with business advantages.
No, and it's fantastic. And now when we are developing our whole tech structure and to the next level, and when we work so much with being better with data and being better at serving our customers super value, we are building an integrated system together, of course, to get better learnings, better data, better storytelling to our clients.
You use the word story a lot, which I actually...
We are passionate about stories.
Yeah, I can tell. You saw me. Where do you see? I'm sure you have you're a big company after all, so you have strategies, you have visions, you have all this. Where do you see, in terms of internationalization, where do you see you going? Where do you see your company in, let's say, a few years' time?
You mean where we're going in the world or where we're going in the bigger sense?
Your call.
We are going places, I must say. Of course, we will develop a lot of more digital services, I'm sure. And we are passionate of freedom of speech. We are passionate for stories. And as I was saying earlier, we are not alone there. There are so many people longing for stories that really touch us, stories that change our world. And we will continue to deliver those stories on new platforms. Of course, we will discover VR or AR or wherever new platform there will be, we will be there with the greatest stories.
I love stories. I love to read. I'm actually very passionate about reading. I try to share that passion with both our employees and customers and my kids, actually.
Yeah. Are they as fond of reading as you are?
3 of them, I would say yes. The first one, no. I try not to push it on them. I try to more. Our house is filled with books.
Because I think that's interesting. The younger audience is so much more into video. It's like that's becoming the first language, not the written one. And I'm also passionate about written language. Of course, I've written all my life. But if we have to be interesting for that 1/3 or 4th of your kids, we also have to be as relevant for the video viewers.
Certainly. It's not just books. I'm actually very interested and passionate about language in general.
Me too.
And I'm not talking like Finnish or Swedish or English. Just the fact that you have a good relationship to words. So you have some way of organizing your thoughts and interacting with people, be the medium, whatever.
Yeah.
And stretching this a little bit. Do you feel that you are on a larger mission in some ways with your job than making business? And once again, this is the Nordic Business Forum. I have nothing against business. I like business. But is there some other driver for you personally?
Oh, of course. I'm a publicist and journalist at heart, and I have a lot of passion for the freedom of speech. That's my main goal, and that is the biggest passion that Bonnier as a whole group, I would say, have. That's our mission to promote freedom of speech, to support democracy, and let many voices be heard. And that's a super important mission, and that's a great passion in my heart, really. And that's what I like about the media landscape now, that it's totally changing, of course. But I really like that we have so many new influencers and that we have social media, because it gives more voices. It gives us more voices. You don't have to be a part of a big media company all the time to reach out. We have a great mission and we have great storytellers, but I like that we have more voices now. That's good for our democracy.
That's really interesting, and actually something I've looked into a little bit, because I don't only like books. I also like to watch interesting debates, listen to TED Talks and stuff like that. This protection or promotion even of freedom of speech, we are maybe sliding a little bit to the side of the internationalization theme, but I think it's worth it. I think it was Rosa Luxemburg who said that freedom of speech is meaningless unless you also allow for the very unpopular voices to be heard. Do you see this as an ethical dilemma? On the other hand, freedom of speech. On the other hand, we have all agreed at one point that certain speech should not be free, but where to actually draw the line? How do you view this?
Well, we have laws to follow in most countries, and I would not allow someone as a publicist that would commit a crime speaking his or her view. If you would say that you hate some kind of race, or if you would hate me because I have a different sexuality than you have, or whatever, that would not be okay, because that would basically illegal. But apart from that, as long as you are within the law, I love to hear more voices being heard and to debate that. That is where we come somewhere with democracy.
I actually thought about how, and you must, I guess, in all your business, be it international, otherwise, as a publisher, you must be sort of thick-skinned, I would guess.
Yes.
Because I was thinking that if I immensely enjoyed Scott Galloway's Barrage, realizing, of course, that he's doing his best also to be provocative in a fun way.
I love him. He's great.
That's what I was thinking. I was thinking, what must you be thinking?
I love that he provokes us, and I think he has a great point that we really need to think about: is this ad business working? He has a lot of great points in what he was saying. So I welcome his speech, but he doesn't have the right answer. Ads aren't dead. We just need to see the new sales, and they are naked. And when you do the right way with the storytellers like us, that we are actually great at storytelling, and we love it. Let us do the storytelling with your ads, and there we have a success.
I think that was more or less a perfect ending for our chat. So, million thanks for joining us, both at the Nordic Business Forum and here at the Mercedes-Benz stage. I will say bye to you for now. Hope to bump into you during the rest of the 2 days. Yes. And to all of you watching and joining via live stream, this is it for our first session. Please say, in your hearts at least, thank you to Frida and Olli, who was here before. And now it's time to move back to the main stage for Desk Trainer and the talk on creating a product-first company. Please join me here at the Mercedes-Benz stage during all the breaks. Next time will be at 16:35, when I will be talking to Jani Penttinen, who is the CEO and founder of Transfluent. Bye for now.